Sunday, the 8th of October, 2023. We got snow up there on the mountains. The leaves are turning colors. Beautiful day today, but winter's coming. And it is going to be one heck. Here, I'm going to kind of show it to you. Kind of beautiful, isn't it? Yep. Turning the colors here in the foothills of the Wasatch Front. I kind of consider it the Rocky Mountains. Well, okay, so some people, most people are just totally oblivious about what's going on. But I'm going to talk about money like I did 15 years ago. Of course, the bond market's collapsing. I'm kind of tired of being humble about it, but yeah, I've known it for years. And anyway, it's actually collapsing now. So like the big mansions over there in Woodland Hills, stuff like that, they were $2.5 million 2 years ago. Now people can't sell them for $1.2 million. So prices are down about 50%. Interest rates have doubled. So of course there's a correlation. So let's talk about money, because a lot of people don't think about money. Okay. So these are Federal Reserve notes. See, it says Federal Reserve note. Back when in the 60s, when I lived in Blossom Valley, which became Silicon Valley, they had things called silver certificates, and they even had silver dollars, okay? Back in the day, let's see, where's one of those things? Yeah, back in the day, they had silver dollars, and what was a silver dollar worth? It was worth $1. So you got to ask yourself, what would you rather have, this piece of paper that says $1 or this silver dollar that says $1? Well, right now, I think you know the answer to that. But back a long time ago, they were worth the same amount of money. And right now, it takes you probably like 24, 25 of these things, pieces of paper, to buy one of these. Now, that's already kind of changing, and the gold has opened up Sunday night. It's already up $20. And this is going to go way up, because what will happen, there's a prophecy that has to deal with this local area, that these will be blowing down the road and you won't bother to pick them up because it's a piece of paper. It has value because people believe it has value, but it says Federal Reserve note and it says In God We Trust. But this cowboy showed me an interesting thing about In God We Trust, that George Washington, they've changed where he's facing on the quarters. He used to be looking at In God We Trust, and now he's not. But it's important to know about currency, folks, because let's say that I went down to Brazil. This is a pretty nice looking piece of money here. And I got some followers in Brazil. But so if I go down to Brazil, the Brazilians, brasileiros, República dos Estados Unidos del Brazil, they speak, it sounds like drunken Spanish to me, but Brazil's a great country with huge natural resources. So 5 cruzeros, valor legal, legal value. Could I go buy something in Brazil with this? I don't know, maybe as a collector's item, but not as a currency. How about if I go across the Andes? Banco Central de Chile, un escudo. I wonder if that's worth anything. One. But how about this? You folks in Europe, I think this is Netherlands, 50. Maybe this is worth something. I could maybe... 50 gulden, Netherlands. That could be worth money, because I went there. Oh, look at that B on it. That's pretty cool. Anyway, Netherlands, maybe the comment area, if somebody watches it over there, they could tell me if this is worth anything. Nuclear warfare. Oh, there's my Temple Recommend. Expires February 96. And there's my ID for BYU. It's upside down. Back then, they put your social security number right on your ID. Nuclear War Survival Skills by Crescent R. Kearney. Forwarded by Edward Teller. Who knows? Might need that stuff. It's good to know about. Let's see. What did I want to show people here? Yeah. So, I think that's, when things collapse, and they're about to collapse, the good guys want it to collapse, and the bad guys want it to collapse, so it's going to collapse. So, if you have one of these, people might say, you know what? I'll give you one of these for a kid by the side of the road. People could make that exchange. I think probably it's going to be weird, but right now they're $50 on jennifermac.com for the first edition, or at least they were a week ago. So it'd take 2 of these to buy one. But let's talk about growing up in Silicon Valley. So when I got back from Argentina, okay, it was 1967. And when I got back to Argentina, if you went to Blossom Valley, they're on Cuesta and Miramonte. I think it was Miramonte. Might have been El Monte. But right there in Mountain View, you know, a house was $16,000. And if you had a quarter on you, you could go over to Mayfair Market and you could buy a Hostess pie for 12 cents and a can of pop for 10 cents. So you're all hooked up and you got 3 cents change, which you could buy penny candy with. So if you had a quarter, you got a can of pop and a pie for 12 cents, Hostess pie. And then I was pretty pissed off because pies went to 15 cents each. Now you go there and they're over $1. And then so I collected coins, and I think I brought 3 coins here with me. Yep. So if you ever scratch one of these, it's not made out of copper. It's not even made out of copper. Okay. Back in the day, they were made out of copper. Like this is a Lincoln cent made out of copper. It's got Monticello on the back. And then before that, we called them wheatbacks when we collected them. They're worth more money. It says 1 cent. That's a collector's item made out of copper. Let's talk about half dollars. Okay. So look how beautiful that one is. Kennedy, 1964. Okay, he was supposedly killed in 63. Hey, cabbage butterfly. Look how beautiful that is. That's real silver, like 90%. They put some other alloys in there so it's not so ductile. But look at that. So you get back, and when I got back from Argentina, things were made out of silver. And then we called them fakes. So here is a Kennedy half dollar. Nope, that's another real one. I brought a fake one, I think. Where is it? Yeah, here's a fake one. We call them fakes. 1974. And you can see the copper. It's right in it. So they start, you know, the U.S. mints, basically you don't get silver anymore. So you got that kind of basically theft. Now, it's not honest money. And if you go back in time a little bit, I was born in 56. These were made out of silver. There's a 1950 Ben Franklin silver dollar. So when things collapse, people will probably accept real silver, and you'll be able to tell this is real silver if you're kind of smart. But there'll be people trying to make fake ones. You can use magnets to test them out, stuff like that. Before Ben Franklin, there was what they call the Walking Liberty silver dollar. Okay? So these are a lot better to have than the fake ones that they make now. Half dollars. So, of course, bonds are going to collapse with all this debt, but I don't want to get ahead of it because some of the, you know, people get pissed if I go too far ahead, I guess. But, you know, obviously, think about the economic collapse. Okay, the fish will still be in the rivers, a lot of them, unless you're in California. Well, you might still have the smelt in California. Might not have any water, but at least you'll have that smelt, right? That's why I moved out of California. So it's good to have wood. I want to get a wood burning stove when I find a rental house somewhere. Hey, wasp. Things of value. So $20 bills will be worthless. Will the dollar come back? Depends if it's backed by silver. Okay? If the dollar's backed by silver and gold, then it'll work. What's more rare, silver or gold? Silver. But there's so many people out there trying to make money. That's fine. They're selling gold, and people are like, I got gold. Well, so does a lot of people. In fact, in these mountains, there's more gold than the Rothschilds have right in these mountains right here. That's another story. Yeah, if you know, you know. I know about it. Okay? I know about it because I've talked to old timers that have been in the tunnels. It's real. So money's going to change, and the dollar's collapsing now. We got the war in Israel, and so there's all kinds of speculation on that, but it looks like there's actually people dying, just like stuff's happening here. So the economic collapse is inevitable, and it started. So you can watch the price of precious metals. They've been manipulated with things called naked options and options on futures and all kinds of stuff that J.P. Morgan and J.B. Diamond have been doing. So it's been manipulated. When we have a free-flowing currency, and this is worth what it's really going to be worth, this Kennedy silver dollar will probably be worth $500. Maybe I think it'll get up to $5,000 in the stupid, Federal Reserve notes talking about that. But so people like a farmer, he might say, you know what? I've got some watermelons and squash and zucchini squash and butternut squash, spaghetti squash, and I'll give you all that stuff for this. And you go, well, I've got a dollar bill or a $20 bill. And he'll like, I don't accept paper. We burn that. Remember the Weimar Republic? So we're going to get back to basic economics, but there's going to be a transition period where you're going to want to have heat. Because right now it's a beautiful day. And, but pretty soon it'll be so cold that if you don't have shelter, you'll freeze to death. So JFK tried to bring back real money, and LBJ and Bushies, they didn't like that. So they tried to off him. That's a big story there. But he's a hero. His son's alive. He's a hero. Oops, a conspiracy fact. There we go. But you should have some of these. But I know people that are worth millions of dollars, they don't have any of this. They're going to have a rude awakening very soon. Okay, so whether it's Ben Franklin or Walking Liberty, these are good to have. I collected coins, so I have some left over, and you probably, your grandparents or whatever, I have some. But this stuff is not going to be very valuable because it's paper, and now they can just push a button. So no, I'm not going to participate in the CBDC by the government. But if we came up with a system that silver could be put in an institution, and they didn't cheat with fractional reserve banking, that's another story. And they said, okay, Brent has $5 in his bank account of real silver. They might be able to have some kind of debit card that's attached to that without tracking your stuff. And that's a system we're going to. I've frankly known about it for a little while, but I don't talk about it because let that come out as then people can accept it. Okay? Rock on, 12 minutes. It's the final countdown. So yeah, no fear. But if you're prepared, you should not fear. If you're not prepared, you don't have water and food and other stuff, you could be in trouble. But God's there, and, there's plenty of water on the earth. We studied it back at Harvard. The shortages of water are artificial. Love you, folks. Be prepared. System's going to crash. Good guys and bad guys want it to crash. I want it to crash, too. And then we'll make a comeback before the second coming of Jesus Christ. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen.